It's becoming quite apparent that the Labour government are hated across the country. I mean, it didn't take long, did it? Yesterday, we shared a video of Keir Starmer getting dogs abuse as he attended the races in Doncaster. Now, we have footage of Labour MPs entering a pub and getting shamed by locals as they are then thrown out. Yes, it's great. Before we get into the video, hit the like and subscribe button and join our fast-growing community. So as we said yesterday, it was Keir Starmer. And today it's more Labour MPs getting told straight by the British public, as it's seen they are not welcome. In this clip, an MP was met with boos from members of the public in a pub as they slammed the use of flats to house migrants and cancel the winter fuel allowance. A video posted on social media shows MP for Aldershot, Alex Baker, coming face-to-face with locals as they tell her straight. Pubgoers could be heard shouting, "Rushmore people first," and our pensioners. Others told Baker she was a traitor as she walked with her family to sit down for lunch. Check it out.
Rushmore people first.
Following the incident, the MP said she will not be intimidated. She wrote, "It's disappointing some people feel it's okay to behave like this, especially when they see me out for lunch with my young family. I'll always be ready to discuss the issues that matter most to my neighbours, but this behaviour gets us nowhere, and I will not be intimidated." It comes after leaked Home Office correspondence with Rushmore Borough Council revealed that plans to fill a development in Farnborough, Hants, with 350 asylum seekers, was authorised on May 25th. Documents showed that the migrants were moved into the flats at Pinehurst Hillside from July 15th. Campaigners have also been left angry amid the slashing of the winter fuel allowance, which could leave pensioners cold this year. Baker previously shared a statement on social media about why she is supporting the policy. She wrote, "I never expected we would find ourselves facing such a decision, and it is extremely regrettable that the government has been forced into this decision. It angers me greatly that the Conservative government made a series of unfunded spending commitments, left a £22 billion black hole in the country's finances, then called an election and ran away from the problem they had created. Given the challenging financial situation we face this year, I hope residents will understand why we have had to prioritise winter fuel payments to those most in need, rather than paying them to everyone, including the wealthiest in our society. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments below. The victim of a hammer-wielding attacker has urged Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer to rethink Labour's early release prison policy after being told that her perpetrator has been let out after a matter of months. Claudia Bryan and her 70-year-old friend were caught up in a case of mistaken address when an Albanian man and his accomplices kicked down the door of their Airbnb in Kent. Bryan was forced to escape from a 2-story window and call the police as the attacker held a hammer to her friend's head. However, after serving just 6 months of his 3-year sentence, he was released as part of Labour's plan to free up prison spaces. Speaking in an interview, Bryan recalled her horrifying ordeal and revealed she and her 70-year-old friend now suffer from PTSD as a result of the incident. Bryan also told host Mark Dolan she was mortified by the news of his release and that they both don't want to go out through fear of being recognised again. Detailing what happened, Bryan said, "We were sitting having a cup of tea in the Airbnb we rented, and there was a knock at the door. I went to the door, did not open the door, and this voice said to me that he was looking for an Adrian. I said that I don't know any Adrian, and that it was just myself and my female friend there. He proceeded to kick the door in. He came in with 2 other gentlemen with a dog, and they held a hammer over my 70-year-old friend's head, threatening to kill us." When asked by Mark how quickly the police responded to her call, Bryan said they did not arrive for 30 minutes, and it was only thanks to a neighbour who took down the registration plate of the getaway car that the police were able to catch the attacker. Opening up to Mark about the terrifying impact the attackers had on them both, Bryan said, "It has been awful, Both of us have suffered PTSD. We find ourselves being extremely nervous. Particularly my 70-year-old friend, she has nightmares. We've been staying together since, and I've been looking after her, and she wakes up screaming. We honestly believed that day they were going to kill us. Expressing concern for their safety following his release, Brian said the officer who broke the news informed her that he was released in the area where we live, but is on license and is wearing a tag. Brian added, "She called and said she was sorry to inform us that this person had been released, but it's in an area where we live, so he is quite close by. And while we don't know this person, we do know that he would of course recognize us. It's been quite frightening. We haven't wanted to go out. We haven't wanted to go to our local coffee shops, because we don't know if this person would recognize us again. I have to say that the police were incredibly proactive. They assured me that this person does not know my name or her name and won't be able to find us, but we do know the area in which he frequents." In criticism of the early release policy, Brian urged Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer to rethink the plans through fear of the safety of the many victims affected. Brian said, "I'm absolutely furious. There are a lot of victims out there that are now concerned for their safety. I think that the government needs to rethink this policy and address it. I feel that the government doesn't realise women like ourselves and other victims. When you release these sorts of people back onto the streets, I am confident that this person will do it again. And I'm also confident that they probably might hurt somebody the next time." Lastly, Hugh Edwards has been sentenced to a 6-month sentence, suspended for 2 years, by a chief magistrate at Westminster Magistrates' Court today. The former BBC News at 10 newsreader was said to have been emotional throughout the sentencing, and often held his hands to his head when listening to the ruling. Paul Goldspring, chief magistrate, said while delivering his sentence, "Perhaps it does not need saying that you are of previous good character, having enjoyed a very successful career in the media. You are highly regarded for your dedication and professionalism, perhaps the most recognised journalist in the UK. Your reputation is in tatters." The chief magistrate also accepted that Edwards did not remember the images received and did not send them to anyone else, telling the 63-year-old, "You did not keep them, and you did not send them on to anyone else. I accept that you had issues with your mental health. The degree that you received sexual gratification from the images is difficult to assess." The chief magistrate explained when delivering the ruling that Edwards did not pose a risk to the public or children, and an immediate custodial sentence was not necessary because the evidence showed he could be rehabilitated. However, the suspended sentence comes with requirements that Edward must complete a sex offender program and further rehabilitative sessions. The sentence comes after Edwards issued an apology to those he has betrayed ahead of the ruling. Defence barrister Philip Evans, KC, said the newsreader was truly sorry for how he has damaged his family and his loved ones, and for committing the offences. The disgraced BBC News star was sent 41 illegal images by convicted paedophile Alex Williams over WhatsApp. It was revealed Edwards had paid hundreds of pounds for images from Williams. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.